2 years ago, I used to work on campus with dining services, and many times I was asked where am I from, and when I say that I'm from Saudi Arabia, people assume that I am rich and they don't need to work there, or I am a prince and they don't need to work there. That's hurtful to me because some people don't know how hard I worked to achieve my dreams and be here in the US to study.
I have a congenital form of distal arthrogryposis, which is a lot of big words. Congenital means it happened when I was born, and distal means it affects my hands and feet in addition to proximal stuff like my back. I have a visa through the Student Support Services, which is great. But a process of that is, I have the visa for a reason. I have it because I'm disabled. And so sometimes that comes up and people, maybe just for small talk or whatever, want to ask questions that don't pertain to my visa. I had someone ask how I got my disability, which has nothing to do with my accommodations. And that many people become disabled for many different reasons. Mine's congenital, so I was born with it, but it's also genetic. So that's something that I don't like to think about a lot. So it's just hard, yeah.
Sometimes it really surprises that people, they stereotype that we don't know a lot of different things about a lot of pop culture. They like to really break it down, but sometimes we are millennials, it's just they are. I mean, we know about things that people don't think about, and it's okay. If you just ask me, hey, do you know about this, rather than just breaking things down. Maybe that's my specialty in my life that I can teach you. They just don't take that consideration just because we're not from this country. They think that, in a lot of senses, they think rest of the countries don't have the opportunity to know these things. Everybody has internet these days, so it would be very nice to not see that assumption making that I don't know something that other people do.
The first day actually of my class, I sat near the students, and it's almost like he was very uneasy that I sat next to him, and then wait until I actually asked him a question. I thought, how did you find it? He was almost like, why are you talking to me, So immediately, obviously, I don't think of the fact that it's because of the way I look. I'm thinking, oh, it's just a grumpy guy, But when it started happening again, I was an RA, and it was a job that I really enjoyed. But then at a certain point, because I was the only minority, which I never see the color, I never see myself as a minority until I started feeling like, yeah, I am different,
So, I'm an RA in Roundtree Commons, and I've noticed that there are some issues around campus. Some people are really disrespectful. It's not always a gender thing, but I've noticed because there's more men on campus, it happens to females more often. But I was doing rounds one day, and I was actually wearing this flannel, and I was dealing with an incident, walked past a group of guys, and one of the guys said to me, hey, I like your flannel and it looks really good on you. And at first I'm like, oh, that's a compliment, that's nice. And then he proceeded to say, it would look a lot better if you took it off. So, just deal with a lot of disrespectful comments. People will catcall me all the time, and I never had to deal with that back home, so.
One of very few African Americans in almost every environment that I grew up in. There've been a lot of moments, from a swimming pool where I was working one summer, a young woman, day camper, walked up and asked me if I was a nigger. Pretty innocent, but it made me pause. To just, about a year ago, when somebody drove their pickup truck up close to my house and played Dixie. all of those moments, certainly I respond differently now than when I was a teenager and I had the experience with that young day camper. It does less damage, but it always makes you pause and wonder why that's where people want to go with you. So I know each and every one of us from time to time might experience that, but we ought to be doing things that help us be empathetic with other people, be aware of how what we say or what we observe other people say impacts on the lives of others. Each and every member of this community shares a responsibility for creating an environment where everyone feels valued and respected. And that is why I encourage everyone to join our Pioneers Unite campaign. Pledge cards will be available at different locations across campus. Take the pledge to stand up against acts of bias, hate, and disrespect. Get a Pioneers Unite t-shirt and use the hashtag Pioneers Unite on social media to encourage others to do the same. Let's all unite to make sure for each and every one of us that every day is a great day to be a pioneer.